Welcome to today's Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. We are starting on time today. I know I've been a little late the last couple weeks, so we are starting on time today. We had a lot of great questions come in. Today we will be talking about our Halloween festivities, my 40th birthday recap, and also a great question that came in about what I would have named the Quints had I not given them the names that they have now. So I thought that would be fun to pull out my old journal and see just some of my writings of some of the names that I was considering naming my kids. Kim and Lori, you were the first two people I see tuning in. Jennifer Cole, it is good to see you as well. As always, it's fun to make those connections and see where everybody lives, where they're from. Hilda, it's good to see you. And Bev Lovell is just tuning in. Hi, Bev. We do the best, honestly, on these Facebook Live videos. I don't know why that is. I think I really enjoy just that direct contact with everybody, seeing everybody, and catching up just with life updates. I feel like so much can happen in just a week's time. So I would love to just fill you guys in on what's going on in our life, in our world. Lori, it is good to see you. And be sure to say, as Maria's saying, she's from Ohio, be sure to state where you are from. It is so fun to make those connections, and it's fun to see you gals make those connections as well. Cheryl is joining us from Texas. Grace, it's good to see you on here as well. Donna is tuning in from Henderson, Nevada. Welcome. And Tracy is from Ohio. Welcome. Rachel Wilkie, it is so good to see you. Thank you. I just barely curled my hair for the day. It's been just in a top knot, just on the top of my head all morning, because I have been, if you guys have noticed, there was not a vlog that went out this last Tuesday. So I was going to explain, we've got lots of things happening, going on right now. So I was not able to get all of my content uploaded for my editor to edit because my storage has been full on my phone. So I just received a brand new iPhone, was it yesterday or the day before? So that is gonna be new on here. And then, anyway, so I've been uploading all of that footage for Kyle so that you guys will have just an extra long video this week for Halloween. So my apologies that I couldn't get it to you guys sooner. Chad and I have been figuring that out, and I think we've got it figured out. So anyway, we will have an extra long video for you, just celebrating everything going on here at the Scott household this week. Kids are doing good. We do have Halloween costumes all picked out and ready to go. So tomorrow the Quintuplets have their Halloween parade, and the way our school does it is they have all the kids parade around the school, the entire length of the school, and then all the parents can come support their kids, cheer their kids on. A lot of grandparents like to come, and sometimes siblings come to these events as well. And then each of the kids are having a class party. So that is 4 class parties. So I'm gonna try and sign up to help in Daisy's class for sure. And then we're gonna see how it goes this year, because I think all of the class parties, I'm not sure what time they're all at. So I mainly just wanna go and visit and spend time in each one of my kids' classrooms, because that's really important, these class parties for my kids. So we have that going on tomorrow. We're gonna be carving pumpkins today. We just did back-to-back birthday party last night for cousin Kaysen, my sister's son who just turned 12. So happy birthday, Kaysen. And then this last Monday night, we had a Halloween party at Grandma Smith's house, and that has been a family fall tradition since Shayden was little. He's the first grandchild on that side of the family. So anyway, my brain is about ready to explode from all the excitement, the stress, and just making sure I get all 5 kids out the door in their Halloween costumes twice this week. And then the Quintuplets are going to be spending Halloween evening with their dads. So they'll be actually trick-or-treating at their dad's house. And I have not quite decided what I'm going to be doing for Halloween night. I may or may not pass out candy here in my new townhome. I don't know how many trick-or-treaters we're going to get. It is a brand new neighborhood. They have just started building in this portion of town, so I'm not sure yet what I'll be doing. I may go over to Grandma Smith's house, my mom's house, and pass out candy there, so stay tuned for that. I may include that in the up-and-coming vlog. I haven't decided yet. We've got people tuning in from Australia. We absolutely love our Australia viewers. Dory is from Virginia. Patsy is from Ohio. Gosh, you guys, we have so many people that watch our channel that live in Ohio that are commenting. Penny is from Perry, Utah. Penny, it's good to see you on here as well. Sandy is from West Jordan, Utah. We sure do love our Utah fan base as well. Okay, so 40th birthday recap. I had a really great time. I spent just a relaxing day on my birthday. The kids, the Quintuplets and Landon, were at their dad's house all week last week. Hi, Dottie. Dottie, are you from Washington? I just barely missed that. But I will be answering Dottie's question that came in as well. So 40th birthday recap. I believe I slept in. I'm trying to think. I had so many kind people in my life personally that have reached out and wished me a happy birthday last week. So I did that. I spent the day at Vintage. That's right. I didn't sleep in on my birthday. That was like an entire week ago. I spent the day at Vintage Market Days with my mom and my sister. And Vintage Market Days in Southern Utah is just a collection of vendors actually from all over the US that come in and sell vintage goods, both new stuff and old stuff. And I love vintage finds. I like collecting vintage children's books, and I love mixing modern transitional pieces with vintage pieces, specifically from like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. That's kind of my time frame that I just really, really like collecting. I love vintage artworks. Dottie, yes, is from Washington, and we've got somebody tuning in from New Zealand. Welcome, Michelle. Thank you for the late birthday wishes. And I did find some really, really fun pieces at Vintage Market Days. So I got like a vintage pair of ice skates that I'm going to put on top of a wreath for Christmas, which is gonna be super cute. We've got somebody joining us from Bellingham, Washington. I do love the Bellingham area. As you guys know, I did live there for a couple years, so I love the Northwest. So yeah, I found that. I found some vintage paper dolls for the girls for Christmas. I purchased some like DIY Legos for the kids, which I think they're going to be really excited about. A lot of like stocking stuffer things or what I purchased while I was there. So yeah, so I'm just excited. But my main thing that I brought home was the ice skates and then like this really cute like fall swag from Mindy Frost Interiors. So I'm excited to share in the up and coming vlog what I was doing on my birthday. I will include that. And then my boyfriend Chad took me out to a restaurant called the Painted Pony because we had a gift card there. And I got my favorite dessert in town, which is a chocolate cake that they have. I want to say it's like a gluten-free chocolate cake. I don't really care for the gluten-free aspect of it, but it's a dessert I can have that's tree nut free. So anyway, that's really fun. Carrie is tuning in from France. Welcome. And Susan is from Maine. Okay, so yeah, so that was my 40th birthday recap. Turning 40 was weird. I thought it would feel just like amazing turning 40 years old. Honestly, it was the same as all the other days. I think I just had this realization that my life looks a little bit different than I had anticipated at 40. And it's still good. It was just kind of a weird day, honestly. It was just weird, but I was grateful to spend it with family and my boyfriend and just reflect on all the goodness that has happened in my life. Okay, somebody just asked about renaming the Quints. Yes, I will be addressing that here in just a minute. That was a question that somebody had asked me about, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna answer that because there were so many names I could have picked for these 5 little kids. Laura, happy 68th birthday. If y'all can wish her a happy birthday. She turned 68 this last Sunday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, Amy asks, have you taken the kids to the pirate ship in town? I saw it on the news. So I am guessing, Amy, that you live in Northern Utah. If it was on the news, yes. I included that in a vlog, the Quintuplets, and I went and saw an old, actually it's not, okay, so somebody in town has like this haunted house that is shaped like a pirate ship here in town in Santa Clara, Utah. You can look it up. I'm guessing the link and the address will be on the news, but it was really, really cool. Some of the quintuplets, Logan thought it was going to be like a ride, like Pirates of the Caribbean, but you just walk through it. And so like the kids had a really, really good time. They thought it was fun. Dottie asks, when the quintuplets go to church with you, do they all go to the same class in primary? So the way my church does it, for those of you, I think I've addressed this before, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and how our church meetings go is the first hour is spent in sacrament meeting, and then various people from the congregation take turns giving a talk with a specific topic. And then the second hour, the children split from, so we have like primary, which is like the little kids up until I think age 11. And then the 12-year-olds through like 18 are either in young men's program or a young women's program for the hour. And then we have the adults that meet. All the women get together, which is actually my favorite part of the week besides Wednesdays, because I get to like gather with other really awesome people. And then the men have a group that they meet with. So for the little kids, it's called primary. The quintuplets, I split them up into separate classes. So I'm trying to think who I have together. I want to say it's Lincoln and Lily in a class together. And then I have the other 3 kids in a class is how we do it. Just so behavior wise, the kids are separated for their class time while they're sitting in class, and so that they learn more, and it's just a better environment for everybody. So yeah, that answers that one. And then I had another question come in. Can you share more details about all the bands on Lincoln's wrist? Have you guys noticed in recent vlogs and in pictures that I'm showing, Lincoln has just a plethora of like bands going around his wrist. So he likes, this little boy is a collector of all kinds of things. Hot Wheels, money, any coins he finds around the house, he collects them. Evelyn is tuning in from France. Evelyn, it's good to see you. Welcome. The wristbands are a collection of things and activities that he likes to do with his parents. So he right now has a whole bunch of wristbands. We went to Staley Family Farms here in Southern Utah. That's a really fun tradition. If you were local to the Southern Utah area, that's really fun to go take the kids to activity wise. So Lincoln had such a good time. He likes to save it. So he has a wristband from that, the red one. And then he has a bunch of wristbands. I've gone to a couple of college. Charlene says her son loves wristbands too. Yeah, Lincoln totally loves collecting those things. So I've gone to 2 of Utah Tech's football games. And so I've just saved my wristbands and given them to Lincoln because he really, really loves them. And then I'm hopefully going to another Utah Tech game this Saturday with my boyfriend, his son, maybe my son, if we can get tickets. So I'll probably give the wristband to Lincoln as well. But at some point, those things are like indestructible, but at some point we're gonna have to cut them off. And like 2 weeks ago, I wanna say, one of them was a little too tight on his wrist. And so while he was sleeping, I just quickly like cut the wristband off. And he knew by morning that the old one was not the same as the 2 that I had just replaced it with. It looked identical. Like he is so clever and so smart. And he's like, what happened to my wristbands? Anyway, he dug them out of the trash can, wanted to sew them back onto his wrist, and he was so proud that he learned how to sew. So now he's got, I think, like 6 wristbands on that wrist. So anyway, I hope that answers what's going on with all of the wristbands with Lincoln. He's just really excited about that. Okay, Jennifer asked, do your kids spend time on electronics or watch television? What do they like watching? Yes. So my rule is, I know you cannot fool kids. Like they can tell if a wristband is brand new or if it's the original old one. And they prefer the old ones that are falling apart and stinky because I don't know why, but they just love them. Okay, so as far as TV, my rules, the last couple days, my kids have gotten in trouble because they've woken up early and they've started watching TV. I like my kids to not be distracted first thing in the morning. So for us, the way I do it is there's no television in the morning. I expect them to get ready, make their beds, get dressed for the day, get their shoes on, go pack their lunchbox in their backpack. It just requires a lot of work. getting to watch live feed while snuggling my grandbaby from Eagle Mountain, Utah. That's so fun, snuggling your grandbaby. I forget what it feels like snuggling sweet little babies. So I'm glad you get to watch this while holding your little baby. Okay, so television. I let my kids watch television when they get home from school, kind of is like a reward to unwind. And then also I do snack time first because I just feel like our afternoons go better when my kids stay on task and they've all had a snack to eat as we are remeshing as a family at the end of the day, since the kids usually haven't really seen each other much during school since they're in separate classes. Favorite television shows, my kids still love the classic Bluey. So all my Australian viewers, thank you for creating Bluey. My kids love that show. It teaches really, really good things about family, about respect, about working together, about problem solving. My kids have been playing with balloons they got from a birthday party yesterday, a game that they like to call Keepy Uppy, which is straight out of Bluey. So that's where you just have a balloon and you try and not let the balloon touch the floor. My kids also love watching YouTube, things about science, engineering, building Legos. Lincoln and Logan really love stuff like that. You know what, actually, I do let my kids watch television when I'm doing their hair every morning. I let them pick out a show, and Lincoln and Logan like picking things about like explosives. So things like Mentos and Coca-Cola, what happens when you mix them up and they explode, you know, the soda pop. They really like that. And then they like watching like marble runs, or hi Nancy, or marble runs, or like Hot Wheels track, like DIY stuff. My kids love building and creating stuff. So those are things that the boys like watching. The girls are a little different. They like watching more, I don't know if you want to say like stereotypical girly shows. Somebody asked, did you catch up on fan mail yet? No, I have not gone to the PO box in a couple months, so I will need to go and check that out. Do you and Skylar share holidays together? No. So how we do it is we switch off, just for recap for everybody, 7 days on, 7 days off with each parent. And then we alternate holidays. So this year, we do like odd years and even years. And so this year, Halloween falls on Skylar's holiday. And so I have the kids this week, but he is going to pick them up from school tomorrow, and then he'll have the kids technically until 9, but he and I communicate. 9 is sometimes just kind of late for the little kids to get everybody to wind down. So he's gonna drop the kids off at 7:30. So we do switch off with holidays. Christmas, I'm excited because Christmas falls on my holiday this year. So I'm really excited about Christmas, having the kids at my house this year. Okay, Amy asked, do you get your kids' names mixed up when you want to call one of them? Yes, and you know, when I was a little girl, I said, I will never do that when I grow up. I'm not going to be like my mom and get my kids' names mixed up. I tell you, every single mom gets their kids mixed up, especially at the end of the day when you're tired and you're multitasking and you're juggling. Yes, I frequently get my kids' names mixed up, and especially the boys from the back, they look the most alike right now. So sometimes I have to be like, are you Logan or are you Lincoln? Because right now they just look a little bit more alike. We have people tuning in from South Africa. Welcome, Janine. And it looks like we've got some new viewers tuning in. Welcome if you are brand new to my channel. Okay, let's see. Lou Holt asked, do you receive child support, or are you supporting yourself and the kids? You are amazing. So both Dad and I do not receive child support. So yes, I am on my own and supporting my family. So I'm really grateful for the views and the love and kindness that you guys show towards my family and my kids. I'm just really, really grateful for that. And so I support my family through doing social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And I just share a day in our life and just the things that spark joy and the highs and lows and everything in between. So I hope you guys enjoy watching. Patsy, you've been following us for 4 years now. We are so very grateful for each one of you. You are doing good on your Instagram stories. Thank you. I'm I'm learning how to edit a little bit better than I used to, and I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent. But I tell you guys, moving in to a new house as a single mom with quintuplets, it's been a lot to juggle. So I'm a little bit slower than I would like to be, but I'm hoping to be posting a lot more on Instagram. So if you are not following us on Instagram, you'll want to check out jamie.scott and give us a follow over there. It helps support my family, and it provides, honestly, it provides, doing social media, so many opportunities for these children that they would not otherwise have opportunities for. So as far as like brand outreach, things like that, these are ways that my kids get to have experiences here in town and the surrounding areas of just fun outings and memories well spent together. So I'm just really grateful for all of you. And then if you are not supporting us over on YouTube, I'm really trying to help that YouTube channel grow. Give us a follow over on 5 to Love. You can find it under, I think, jamie.scott as well on YouTube. So we would love just your continued love and support of my family. And I thought Lou Holt asked a good question. Danielle asked if you had to okay, this is the question you guys were asking. If you had to rename the quintuplets and you can't use any of the current names, what names would you pick? So I thought I would pull out my journal from when I was pregnant with the quintuplets. You guys, I have kept a journal since I was 6 years old. I probably have over 20 journals that are completely full of my thoughts, feelings, things I've been processing. When I was pregnant with the quintuplets, I only wrote like 3 times in my journal. I think it was such a scary time that I just really needed to stay in the present. So there are very few things I recorded during that time period. But I did record baby names and baby middle names. At the time, I also wasn't sure if these were gonna be all 5 boys or 5 girls. And so I like put up like all the different combinations. And then I kind of wanted to name my kids like, not like colors of the rainbow, but my kid's dad's name is Skylar. My older boys are Shayden and Landon. And so I wanted to incorporate like all the colors of the rainbow. And then like the meanings of each of our family members' name. Okay, so I knew I was gonna have a daughter, so I already had Lily's name picked out. So if I wasn't gonna do, you guys, I look so tired today. I have been staying up way too late just working and working and working. Okay, so some of the names that I had considered naming the quintuplets, as far as girl names, I had Lily, the word Lily Bell. I had, okay, besides Lily, Violet, and Daisy, I had the name Ara. I had the name Ari. That's a family name. My Native American ancestor crossed the Trail of Tears. She was 3 years old. The rest of her family died. And a sheriff put my ancestor's name was Ara. Her mother's name was Ari. They were Cherokee, I think Choctaw and Chickasaw. And then the name Adney was another family name that I had considered. The name Pearl, and honestly, I considered the name Pearl because when I was doing infertility, I had to go get my blood work done, and I needed to know if I was pregnant, and then I needed to know that my HCG levels were growing. And there was the sweetest couple that were senior citizens, like this little lady was named Pearl, and I thought it was the most beautiful name. And this man was so attentive to his sweet wife and just was like doting on her, and she was super quiet. And I was explaining that I was pregnant. And anyway, so the name Pearl, I have polycystic ovary syndrome, and sometimes they talk about like cysts around the ovaries, like a string of pearls. And so for like 2 names, like for 3 reasons, I considered the name Pearl, just the price that I paid to create these children. So I considered that for like a little girl's name or her middle name. And this sweet couple that were just so darling. Another name that I had considered, and I still think this name would fit Violet so very much, is the name Savannah. And then we could call her Savvy because Vivi has just got some sass, if you guys haven't noticed by now. Another name I considered was the name Eden. It just reminds me of gardening and a beautiful place, creating something beautiful. I also considered the name Clara, and I also considered the name Oakley. As far as boy names, I considered the name Noah, and I considered the name Bo, And then I also love the name Sawyer. So those were some of the names. My boys really, and I really wanted to name the boys Bo and Noah. But when my water broke, that's when each of my kids were given their names. Originally, Lincoln's middle name was Richard after my dad. And I think Lincoln's name was like Noah originally when my water broke. So we had Logan Matthew and then like Lincoln Richard or something when my water broke. But then I didn't deliver till like 9 more weeks. Okay, as far as middle names, I considered the name Sherry, which is my former mother-in-law's name. I considered the name Claire. Lily on here, I have Lily Jade. I thought that was a really cute name. And then Jane is what we finally ended up naming her. Violet, I considered the name Violet Claire after my after my dad's name. But we ended up going with Violet Rose, and Rose is Skylar, my kid's dad's grandma's name. So it's a family name. And then Daisy Kate. Kate is my sister's name, and it looks like somebody has a grandbaby that is 6 months named Aurora. That is beautiful. I love that name too. As far as boys' middle names, so the world-renowned Dr. John Elliott of Valley Perinatal, he was so very much a part of our miracle birth story. So I considered a middle name John. I also considered the middle name Emmett after my grandfather. I also considered the middle name Ray after my grandfather. What is your sister Katie's birthday? My sister Katie's birthday is in April. Okay, so yeah, that's what I found on here, which was actually amazing. And I was adamant in keeping track of like everything. So I have like my journal of just processing, like honestly, like I hardly wrote down anything. I mainly, when I was pregnant, just spoke about my big boys and the changes that they were going through. But yeah, it was fun. I sent a thank you card to every single person when I was pregnant at the hospital that took care of me, from doctors to nurses to all these different random companies and brands that reach out and sent us kind things. So that's been important to me from the very beginning. So anyway, so that's what I would have named the Quints if they weren't named the names that they have now. Okay, next question is from Bella for WD. What's your favorite part of the weeks that you have the quintuplets? Honestly, my favorite thing still to this day is tucking my kids in for bed every single night and getting that one-on-one time. I also love seeing their faces first thing in the morning. And I know that I've shared that from like the beginning of vlogs ever, is it still feels like Christmas morning. Just the miracle of life and getting to see my kids every single day. I'm just so very grateful for. But I do look forward to the holidays this year, and the weeks that I do have the kids. I think just creating family memories is what life is all about, and those experiences with my kids is something that I just really look forward to. Okay, Jen asks, what is the birth order? Sorry, my hair is bugging me right now. What is the birth order of the quintuplets? So Violet was born first, then Daisy, then Logan, then Lincoln, and then Lily. And they originally had a different birth order, but when they were delivered, the person that delivered them, the doctor, was left-handed. And so it was just about whoever he could reach first, and he just pulled each kid out. So that's why Violet in the birth order is the oldest and Lily is the youngest. Okay, have you caught up on fan mail yet? Asked Nancy. No, I have not. So I do need to go to the post office box. If you would like to send the kids or anything, we do have a P.O. box. You can find it in my bio at the very top of the Facebook page, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also find it there. And I don't know why it just gave me a thumbs down when I was using my hands to talk there. Okay. Cheryl asked, tell us about one special memory from when you were a child. Since it's Halloween time, I remember my mom making us a Halloween costume every year. So it wasn't something that she bought. It was something that she created with her own hands. And she still has each one of those Halloween costumes to this day. And it's so fun to see my kids. want to play dress up and wear some of my exact costumes from when I was exactly their age, from dance costumes to Halloween costumes. She kept all of it. And so we have this box on Sundays that the kids like to get into and play dress up. So that is my one memory, is my mom asking me and my sister what we'd like to be for Halloween, and then going to the fabric store, picking out the costume, and just the idea of creating was something that my mother taught us as little girls. So that's one memory that I really love. Ellen asks, would you like me to send the Quintuplets my set of the Bobbsey Twins series of books? Yes, absolutely yes. If you guys have sets of books that you're not using and you want a great place for them to go to, our family loves collecting books. I love collecting vintage children's books. I'm pretty sure the Bobbsey Twins were chapter books. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never read these books, but I have heard about this book series. Some of our most prized things that have come in the P.O. box have been from people that have sent us books from when they were raising their kids that they wanted to rehome and find a great home for. Those are things my family loves. We have a collection of Peter Rabbit books. Somebody sent, I think from the UK. Nancy asked, what is your favorite book? My favorite book, that is a good question. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I've read some really good self-help books. But as far as my favorite book, my favorite children's book, probably from when I was a kid, I would have to say hands down, is Love You Forever. I love that story. And it's kind of like a story about the passing of the torch and teaching children about time and about love and about relationships. That's a book that my mother read to me as a kid, and that's a book that I read to my older boys, and it's one that I am passing down reading with my kids too. It's a book that just sticks. You read it once and it's one that you just remember. Let's see, another question that came in from Sue. Do any of the little kids play sports? I have not signed the kids up this semester for anything. I think just being on a tighter budget, I've not signed them up for anything. So we're just doing a lot more like parks, outdoor play, indoor family time, that sort of thing. But I can foresee the little boys definitely wanting to get involved in sports. I think it's going to be so good for Lincoln and Logan to get their wiggles out, their energy out, to understand what it means to be a team player. And hopefully what I'm teaching in the home is like, we're a family, we're a team, we work together. Transitions into team sports and activities like that. I think it'll be really good. I know Lily and Daisy specifically have asked to sign up for dance again. So we will, probably be re-signing them up for dance next semester, hopefully, fingers crossed. And Violet, we're just taking a break with dance until she figures out what she's interested in. I would like the girls to also try sports and see what they love, but I'm pretty sure Lily and Daisy are going to be into the arts. So anyway, we've got tons of people talking about great authors, great books, favorite books that they have. What are your favorite books? I would love to know that. Favorite chapter books growing up, I read Boxcar Children. I really loved those. I don't know if they still sell those or not, but my kids love those. I also love, since it's Halloween time, I loved the Goose Books series. I had my favorite stories from there that I loved as I got older. Bernadette says theater for Violet. You know, I think some of these kids naturally have a knack for the arts from both her mom and dad. Skylar was a really talented actor growing up, and he found that talent when he signed up for class when he was like 14. Before that, he played sports. He was really good at whatever he tried, but he excelled in the arts and in theater. I think Violet would probably do well with it too. Michelle says she loved the Boxcar Children. Yes, I remember the librarian reading that to us when we were kids. The memories that stand out from that book series was about a group of little kids that just pulled together, and they were creative, and they created their own space. And I remember they would keep like their milk ice cold behind like a waterfall or something, if I'm remembering the series correctly. So I would love to incorporate those as my kids get older. I also would love my daughters to become fans of Anne of Green Gables, like the books, but also like the original Anne of Green Gables. I don't care so much for the dark feminine version that they've come out with now, that is Anne of Green Gables. There are some great moments of that series that I do love. I really love how the character, what is the main character in Anne of Green Gables that she ends up marrying in the series? let's see, I forget what he calls her Carrots. What is his name? He's so cute in the original Anne of Green Gables. I can't think of what his name is. One of you gals is going to remember what that character's name is, but I really love the new series, how the character plays that. I put my milk in my swimming pool to keep it cold. Okay. Have you read Enemy Pie? I have not. Is that a chapter book? You said it's about friendship. Gilbert Blythe, that is the name. So I love the character Gilbert Blythe in the new Anne of Green Gables, and of course the classic. So when I was a little kid, being all nostalgic here, I saved some of the things from my childhood and never opened them for the day that I had a daughter. Well, since I have 3, I finally feel like my girls are old enough for these. So I saved paper dolls from when I was a little girl. My mom, or maybe it was my grandma, gifted me a Sleeping Beauty, paper dolls, and Prince Charming, as well as Anne of Green Gables. And so I'm really excited to open those this year and gift those to my daughters for Christmas. So that will be part of their Christmas present. Little House on the Prairie. Yes, those are classics. Magic Tree House. My older boys really loved those. So I think just those classic teaching good morals, values, and principles to my kids are going to be wonderful to have as part of our collection. Beverly Cleary books. Yes. What is your favorite Beverly Cleary book? Chad says Mad Magazine. What is that? I don't even know what that is. And Chad, I thought you had a business meeting right now, so I didn't think you were even going to be able to watch this. Bernadette is commenting yes. Brittany is joining us. Hi, Brittany. Okay, next question. Can you remind me of the quintuplets names? That is Morgan's question. We have Violet, Daisy, Lily, Logan, and Lincoln. My older boys are Shayden and Landon. Okay, we have questions that came in about dating. So Chad, you can tune in if you would like on these questions if you are watching this. Okay, Lori K. Burnett asks, which temple do you want to get married in? So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and in my faith, you can choose to be married for time, which is a civil marriage, or you can choose to be married in the temple, and that is our highest place of worship. And that place, you can be married for time and all eternity. So we believe that a couple doesn't necessarily mean they will be, but you can be married for eternity. And so as far as a temple that I would like to get married in, I would choose local. Southern Utah has 2 temples. They have one that was built in like the 1800s. It's a pioneer temple with really a cool historic past. It was open to the public before they rededicated it. It's really cool. Like the interior is just a lot of whites and blues and greens that they decorate with. It's really pretty. And then they have another temple called the Red Cliffs Temple here in Southern Utah. And it is a little bit more modern. It reminds me of a lot of like chapels, a little bit more like a church, just on a grander scale. It reminds me a little bit of like gardening and Art Deco, from the rugs to like I think it's hand painted ceiling. It's really pretty, and it does have a lot of florals in it. So I don't know, it's kind of a toss up. I think I still have a special place in my heart for like the pioneer place here. That temple is just beautiful, and it's old and has so much history. So I really love that one. It's a lot more whites in the temple. The other temple, I don't know, it has a lot more like beautiful garden decor inside, if that makes sense. And so you can look up the interior of both of these temples if you are curious. You can head to, I think it's Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.org, and you can type in St. George Temple, and it should pull up some images of what they look like based on what I'm talking about. So I don't know, I still think I would pick the St. George Temple. Somebody asked, are you getting married? Did I miss something? No, I'm not getting married. You didn't miss anything. I'm not engaged. Somebody just asked a question about what temple I would pick if I were to remarry. Okay, hope I covered that. Somebody said they went to the Red Cliffs Temple open house and it was gorgeous. Yes, it was open to everybody. So everybody was able to see that until they were dedicated. And my church that I belong to, they have temples all over the world. So they have open houses that you can attend. You don't have to be a member of the same faith, and you're welcome to attend those open houses. Probably on that same website, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.org, you'll be able to look up any new temple open houses that they are having if you are curious to see. Some people come just to look at the architecture. Some people are curious about the faith, but all are welcome to attend. Hope that answers that question. Okay. Okay, I don't even know how to say this name. NMCK Kiernan 4118 asks, do you think all the kids would be okay with a step parent one day? I'm going to say hands down, absolutely yes. Of course, with anything, you're talking about blended families and transitions. But honestly, I think it would be the absolute best thing for the kids to have a step parent that Skylar chooses and that I choose one day. It's just more love and support and more people to cheer my kids on, you know, in the stands at a soccer game or a football game or at the ballet recital. I just think it's good for kids to have that support from people that they love in their family. So I think it will be a wonderful thing. Is it a transition? Yes. One of my kids got in trouble yesterday and needed a little bit of discipline and a timeout. And one of my kids was saying, you know, something to Chad because he and I were both disciplining this child in a very loving but firm way. Okay, so people are asking about, can you be remarried after divorce in the Mormon faith, if some of you are more familiar with that term. So yes, you can be remarried after you've been divorced. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a transition when we're talking about blended families, and it's just going to take time, which is why I've said this before. I want to date someone to be able to see how my kids do and the relationship during all 4 seasons. So that is what I want, is just to really take my time in the dating world. Chad, I know you're watching this and we've already discussed this, but I just really, really want there to be a transitional period for my kids as they are getting to know people. And I think with quintuplets, for the most part, this last year, when I've gotten to know different people, I didn't introduce my kids to the people I was dating. But I've been dating Chad consistently for quite some time now, and it's been really wonderful for the kids to interact with him. And actually, I'm excited because we're gonna be carving pumpkins today, so they're looking forward to that. Shirley asks, will you let the step parent discipline? Yes, I think those are things that you need to talk about with your partner. I'm not married. We do not live together, just to clarify that for anybody asking. But when it comes to discipline, we are starting to merge together on discipline, how we discipline, and making sure that it's consistent, because children thrive with stability and consistency. And so just the different ways that we do discipline. One book that I'm reading right now, which has been really, really helpful, talked about the 4-to-1 ratio. So when you were disciplining your child, that you give, I don't know, like the word critique, right? We're correcting our child's behavior, and the separation between the child and their behavior. Children are innately good, but the behavior is not always good, right? And so we want to acknowledge on a 4-to-1 ratio all the good that they have in behavior, and that the good child that they are, and praise them both publicly and privately. And then taking those moments to discipline away from everybody else is helpful, so that the child can understand they need to correct the behavior, right? Like you can't just go up to your sister and just whop her up the face because you want the toy that they have. So that was kind of something that had happened yesterday. And so my child needed a timeout, and we had said, okay, we're at a birthday party right now and you're in timeout for 6 minutes. And sometimes that doesn't always work, so you have to adapt with quintuplets. And so that child needed to be separated from everybody else and just to go take a breather outside and cool off until they were ready to come back inside, apologize, make it right, and change their behavior. And every child is that way. I know I got worked up as a kid myself, and I needed those timeouts and breaks. To another thing that I'm trying to shift when it comes to discipline is, instead of calling it a timeout, we're choosing to call it a time in. So that way the child feels like it's just, the purpose is to teach the child to self-regulate and to take breaks. And so anyway, I just think it's good. Have you all seen those pretty rainbows there in Southern Utah? Yes, I took a video of that. We had a double rainbow yesterday. It was absolutely beautiful when we were driving to a birthday party, and the quintuplets just couldn't understand how it could be raining at the same time that it was sunny outside and like how that can happen at the same time. And so Lily had pointed that out, and I thought that was really interesting, that it can be rainy outside and bright and sunny at the same time. So it was just beautiful rainbow yesterday. Okay, we covered that one. How was your 40th birthday celebration? We covered that. Colleen asked, does Chad have a relationship with his children? How often do they do things together? So you guys are seeing a lot of the family and I spending time together with Chad when he gets off from work. He's very much a part of our lives right now as we are getting to know each other. He does have a really good relationship with his children, and he sees them as frequently as he can. We've got somebody tuning in from the San Juan Islands in Washington. I was just thinking about going back there. That is a beautiful part of the country. Absolutely beautiful, especially this time of year. I love September and October in the Northwest. It's just, the skies are clear and it's just pretty. So Chad does get together as frequently as he can with his kids. He's got a daughter here that is going to college. So his kids are a little bit older than mine. So he's got a daughter in her 4th year of college. She's doing really well. And then he has a 16-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son, and they're doing really well. He is hoping, well, he's got his son, he's going to go pick up Quaid. We're hoping to go to a football game this weekend, but now that his kids are getting older and they're involved in so many extracurricular things and their schooling, it's not as frequent as it once was, and that's how it's been with my older boys too. They're just getting busier, and so he spends as much time going up there, visiting with his kids or bringing them down. So yeah, he has a great relationship with his kids. I don't particularly film a lot of content with his kids, just out of the sensitivity that it's his family, and he and his former spouse co-parent really well, which I really, really appreciate. And that's something that was attractive to me in getting to know Chad in the beginning, is he has really great kids, he co-parents really well, and is very respectful of his co-parents. So hopefully that covers that question that you asked. Let's see. Okay, those are all kind of the questions that came in. So if you guys have questions, you are welcome to ask them now, and I will now be looking at this screen. And if you keep your questions a little bit shorter, then I'm able to read them quicker, because sometimes we have questions that come in so quickly, I miss what the question is. So, okay, we've got Kathy tuning in, and Chandra has joined us. Welcome. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for questions. I do have a question for you guys. Did you keep a journal growing up? And do you keep a journal now? That's what I would want to know. Renee is from Florida. Hi, Renee. Good to see you. Petro is tuning in. Welcome. Bernadette, have you all seen the Rainbow Rock Canyons in Utah? I have not. Where is that? I have not heard of those. Sounds cool though. Soraya, what is your favorite park in the area, and what is your favorite Thanksgiving tradition? Okay, let me answer those two. Favorite park, we really love the dinosaur park. If you are visiting here or passing through Southern Utah, the dinosaur park, I think they call it the Quint Park. You can ride the carousel for $1, or no, you can ride the train for $1. It's really fun to do with kids, to do with grandkids. We also like the St. George splash pad. That's actually originally where I met Chad, the kids and I did. And you can ride a carousel for $1 there. It's really fun. Rachel says she scrapbooks. We had somebody say they keep a journal, and greetings from Germany. Hi. Lori's from Alabama. Hi, Lori. Okay. The other question that came in, favorite Thanksgiving tradition. We always get together at Grandma Smith's house for Thanksgiving with extended family. Usually we do desserts with the extended family. So like my aunt and uncle, sometimes my cousins will come over. That's really fun. This Thanksgiving, I'm not quite sure what my plans are. I may be visiting with Chad's family. He's got a pretty large family, so I'm not quite sure. It just kind of depends what he and his co-parent and his kids are doing, because my children will be at their dad's for Thanksgiving this year. So stay tuned. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet for Thanksgiving. I may be traveling. Up north, I may be going to Arizona. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, Bernadette, Pariah Mountains in Utah. Do you have a full-time job is Nancy's question. I do not have a full-time job. I have considered picking up some extra work just to supplement my income for the kids and I, but it is so much work being a single mom of quintuplets. Even though I have the kids 1 week on, 1 week off, those weeks that I have off, I'm oftentimes catching up all day on laundry, retidying up the home. It is just a lot of work being a mom of high order multiples and having a large family and just managing a household still. I have considered working with senior citizens, kind of like care center type of work. So I am interested in doing that. I've considered donating plasma. So I may do that just on the side. But I have looked at extra forms of income. But as far as full-time job, I am a full-time social media person, and I am amazed at behind the scenes how much work it requires. Like sometimes it's hours worth of upload. So like typically on a day is like I am with the kids from like 7 a.m. until 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. And then sometimes I will stay up from 9 until midnight just to upload content to get the vlogs out. And then some days, like this week, I had 3 kids in my bed all night long. So I've just been so tired. So full-time job, social media is what I do. And I just hope that it sparks joy and creativity for you guys in your own life, and that it's nostalgic and you're able to reminisce about the times when you were raising your kids too. I work with the elderly in the UK. I just think it would be a very rewarding job. I would love to go back to school, but I feel like my kids require so much of me right now that there's just got to be a good balance. I think the day that I choose to remarry and have a partner living in my home that's my husband one day, I think I'll be able to make that happen. Penny says, I don't know how you do it. Well, Chad gave me a good talking to last night and just was like, sweetheart, one day at a time, because I was a little overwhelmed yesterday from lack of sleep and my frustration with trying to upload content for the vlog, because I just couldn't get it out Tuesday. So I just do my best, and my best is good enough. And I think being a mom is the best job I could ever have. It reminds me with our frost in the late spring, I had a journal. Okay. So yeah, I've kept a journal since I was a little girl. And when I was 6 years old, I was in kindergarten. I was just learning how to spell. And I think my first journal entry was about this little boy that chased me on the playground named Christopher, and he tried to kiss me and I didn't like it. So all I could do was just, draw a picture of the kid. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of a funny story. That's my first journal entry. And my kids have started keeping a journal too, the girls. So it's fun kind of to see what they first recorded. Daisy has started journaling, and it's fun to see them do that as well. If I could travel to any country, where would I want to go? Okay, there's several places. I would want to go to France. Most definitely. I took 4 years of French, so I studied French, and I love theater. I love the arts. I love the foods. I love the desserts. I love the castles. There's so many things about France that I love. I would love to go visit Germany. My uncle lived in Germany for 2 years, and just to understand a little bit more about the culture and the people there. I would love to visit Sweden. I would love to visit New Zealand. We have a lot of viewers, surprisingly, from New Zealand and from Australia. I would love to visit those places. I think, about 3 years ago, before the separation, I had considered doing a little bit more of public speaking, just where I can tell my story paired with video, do a live Q&A, and just get to meet and gather with good women from all over the world. I think that would be such an amazing opportunity. Just mainly talking about my story of resiliency, of grit, of doing hard things, of picking yourself up and starting over. And that life is beautiful and still worth the while, even though it may look different. So that's still kind of my message moving forward. New Zealand is amazing. Rachel, have you been to New Zealand? Anyway, there's so many places that I would love to visit. To explore a little bit more in Canada would be pretty cool. Norma is tuning in from the Bronx. Welcome, Norma. Darren Fry. Darren says I'm doing amazing. Thank you, Darren and Rachel. Some of these people that have watched our channel and championed us, you guys, from the beginning, are people that I have known and loved throughout my growing up years. And I have been so grateful for their continued love and support of myself as a person, the growth that they have seen in me. I have come a long way, and I still feel like I have more growth and things that I would like to become. You know, we are in the process of becoming. Pamela is tuning in from Vermont. I bet it is absolutely beautiful right now where you live, and probably absolutely freezing cold. Nikki is from Texas. Caitlin, one of the best moms I know. That is so very kind. You know, I do my best, and on the days where I make mistakes, I, you know, try and repent and do better and make it right. So anyway, yeah, life has been a journey, an absolute gift. I'm grateful that I am still here, that the babies lived. You know, you guys know my story. You followed us for years and years, and just, you know, finding some of my journals, it just brought back so many memories of the gratitude I feel. But anyway, I'm excited for another video. You guys will get a little bit longer of a vlog this week. Just because I have needed a brand new phone. I've also needed a new computer, and I'm running out of storage space. So there is just a lot going on work-wise here. But I'm getting the hang of it, and I'm excited just to be doing some more, you know, work and sharing our lives with you guys. I had a hard time keeping my house straight with 2 grandkids. You know, I had a hard time keeping my house straight with my 2 kids. Kids are busy, and they're messy, and they're creative, and they're active. And, you know, sometimes I do love a clean house. I do love a tidy house. But during this season of my life, I'm just realizing I'm not going to be able to have all of that, right? If I have my kids at my house. And so just doing my best and teaching my kids the importance of what matters. It's relationships. It's how we treat people. It's the memories that we create and that we make together. Those are the things that stick. And that's what I want to create and teach with my kids. So yeah, but you know, I tell you what, having a boyfriend that can clean the house while I go do baths and bedtime routine with all of the kids, he cleans the house every night, he tidies up, he does the dishes, he's sweet as can be, is kind as can be, is patient with me, is patient with my kids with their meltdowns. You know, I just feel really grateful that I had the courage to even say yes on a date. That was just really scary to me. I was scared of dating and relationships and all of that. So I'm just grateful that he's a part of our lives, and grateful for the continued support of friends and family and all of you gals. We've got more men that are starting to tune in, so I should not say just women that are watching this, right? Tanya says that is so amazing. It is wonderful to have an amazing support system and friends and people. And I just can't believe the clarity of my phone right now. You guys, I thought for a year, an entire year, that my phone was cracked, and I was so afraid to take off the protective cover that was on my phone. And last week, Chad said, I think you just need a new phone cover. And I was like, no, my phone is cracked. It's the crack in the phone. And like, all of my footage has been so blurry. So I have a new phone cover on this old phone right now that I am using, and the clarity is so much better. So thank you guys for being patient as you watch these Facebook Live videos. I do have a new phone. I'm probably going to be syncing that either tonight or tomorrow. So the quality of the content should just be better with footage. Okay, I couldn't read that comment. It came in a little too quick for me. But we have a lot of new viewers that are tuning in right now, which is so fun. So anyway, we're glad you're here. Cheryl says, happy late birthday. My son was 40 on October 26th. Yeah, it was a good time to be born. Child of the 80s. It was a fun time to grow up. Judy says, marry him. Good guys are a blessing from God. All right. You know, when I went to Vintage Market Days, I ran into 2 people that had tuned in and watched the show. And both of you all said to marry the man. So I'm sure he'll be watching this saying yes, that she should. But anyway, Chase says, my birthday is October. Happy birthday. Chad says, pick up the kids from school. Okay, my alarm's gonna go off at 3 to remind me to pick them up from school. Thanks, Chad. I will be there in just a minute. Good to see you all. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to share more great content with all of our Halloween festivities. You will be getting a vlog this week, so tune in for that. Stay tuned for that. Love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you real soon. Bye.